The FDA's full COVID-19 vaccine could mean more vaccine requirements on the way.
But it also questions about mandates and legality, especially in the workplace. Joining us now to answer some of our questions is attorney Jessica Summers. Jessica, us tonight. When you talk about the difference, say, between last week and Monday, we had already seen private sector, even the government, instilling some of the vaccine mandates, even under emergency approval. What changes now that the Pfizer vaccine has been fully approved?
Yeah, so now is really the time for employers to be deciding what their position is going to be here. And employers in the DMV do have the option of implementing a vaccine mandate. I focus here on the DMV because there are some jurisdictions around the country employers from requiring vaccines, but that's not the case here. Employers here in DC can require employees to become vaccinated. However, they do need to be prepared that if there are employees who are not vaccinated because of a religious issue or a disability, they will need to reasonably accommodate those individuals.
You know, we've talked about vaccine requirements when it comes to kids in schools. I think, you know, just about every kid out there had to have a whole battery of vaccines just to be able to walk into most public schools. Private schools are another beast there. But when you look at the number of institutions that already started to mandate this, does this affect any of them? Put some sort of mandate into place now that we have one with full approval, or is it business as usual there?
For those employers that already had a requirement in place, this really is an affirmation for them that they were in the right direction. See more employers joining them in the coming days and coming weeks, because a lot of employers were waiting for this final approval before asking employees to take that step, get vaccinated as a condition of their employment.
Businesses slow walking this, and that's partly because of pressure from unions. You look at, for example, New York City, the largest teachers union, saying that they are in line with the city. They believe that safety is paramount, and yet still they're asking to come to the table and to bargain about this. What changes when you add unions?
If you have a unionized workforce, the dynamics for the employer. The unions, obviously, depending on the individual union, will have bargaining power and will probably have a seat at that table. For private employers that are not unionized, it's a lot of focus on state and local law. As long as it's permitted under state and local law, you're going to be good to go in implementing a vaccine mandate, as long as you deal with issues I mentioned.
All right, and one more thing here, as we look at the idea out there of people being required, or at least maybe being required to get the vaccine. Let's say they say, no, I have an objection, I have this or that. Can you still collect unemployment?
So that's a great question, and one we really don't have a whole lot of clarity on in our area yet. So employees really should not be assuming that if they refuse a vaccine mandate, they're going to be eligible for unemployment. And the issue really is unemployment is administered state basis, and each state has its own rules for the types of situations that disqualify an employee from unemployment. We've seen clarity coming out from some states. For example, Washington State has said that employees who are terminated because they refuse a vaccine will not qualify for unemployment. We don't have the clarity from the jurisdictions around us yet.
It's certainly a new frontier in many respects. Jessica Summers, we appreciate your expertise.